If you've been hearing more and more about silver lately, you're probably asking the obvious question: is it actually worth putting money into? Or is this just another trend that gets louder every time the economy feels uncertain? That's a fair question, and it deserves a fair answer, not a sales pitch. Let's start with what's actually changed. Silver isn't just a monetary metal anymore, something people buy purely out of fear or nostalgia for the gold standard era. Today, it sits in a unique position, half monetary asset, half industrial commodity. Solar panel manufacturing, electric vehicles, and electronics all rely on silver in ways that didn't exist at this scale a decade ago. That industrial demand has been climbing steadily, and it's one of the reasons silver's story in 2026 looks different from previous decades. On the supply side, something interesting is happening that doesn't get much mainstream attention. Most of the world's silver isn't mined because someone specifically went looking for silver. It comes as a byproduct of mining copper, zinc, and lead. That means silver supply doesn't respond quickly to rising prices the way you'd expect from a normal commodity. Miners can't simply decide to produce more silver because they're mining for something else entirely, and silver just comes along for the ride. When industrial and investment demand both rise at the same time and supply can't easily follow, that creates a structural tension worth understanding. Now, does that mean silver is guaranteed to go up? No, and anyone telling you that with certainty isn't being honest with you. Precious metals are volatile. Prices can swing sharply in both directions, and past patterns, no matter how compelling, are not a promise of future performance. What we can look at, though, is the historical role silver has played during periods of currency debasement, inflation concerns, and economic uncertainty. Historically, investors have turned to precious metals as a way to diversify away from pure paper assets. Not because it's a guaranteed win, but because it behaves differently than stocks and bonds during certain economic conditions. So who is silver actually a good fit for? If you're looking for guaranteed short-term returns, this probably isn't the right asset for you. Nothing is guaranteed here. But if you're thinking about diversification, about not having all your savings tied to one type of asset, silver has historically served that role for a lot of investors. It's also worth noting that silver tends to be more volatile than gold, which cuts both ways. It can move faster during rallies, but it can also correct more sharply. Here's something a lot of people miss when evaluating whether silver is worth it right now. The conversation shouldn't just be about price predictions, because nobody can reliably predict short-term price movements, not analysts, not algorithms, nobody. The more useful conversation is about position sizing and purpose. What role would silver play in your broader financial picture? Is it 5% of your portfolio as a hedge, or are you treating it as your primary strategy? Those are very different approaches with very different risk profiles. If you're leaning toward adding silver, the practical next step is understanding how to actually do that safely, from choosing between physical and paper silver to understanding premiums and avoiding common mistakes new investors make. That's really where the real decision-making happens, not in whether silver sounds appealing in a video, but in how you actually approach building a position thoughtfully over time. So is silver a good investment in 2026? The honest answer is, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish and how it fits into your overall strategy. It's not a magic bullet, but it's not something to dismiss out of hand either. What matters most is that you're making an informed decision, not one based on hype in either direction. What's your take? Are you already holding some silver or still on the fence? Drop it in the comments. I'd genuinely like to know where people are on this right now.